Hi, my name is Kimberly Dutchick, and I'm the Curator of Learning and Engagement at the UI Stanley Museum of Art. Today I'm going to introduce you to For My People, which is a portfolio by Elizabeth Catlett made to commemorate the 50th anniversary of the publication of a series of poems by Margaret Walker of the same title. Catlett and Walker were both born in 1915, and they were both alumni of the University of Iowa. Catlett was part of the first MFA class in 1940. She studied sculpture with Grant Wood, and Margaret Walker graduated with her MFA 2 years later through the Iowa Writers Workshop. Both women were deeply committed to their communities. They fought for racial equality and social justice in their personal lives and through their artistic practice. Elizabeth Catlett went to Howard University. She studied art, took classes from Alain Locke, Lois Mailou Jones, who was a textile artist and a painter, and James Porter, who was the first African American art historian. He also introduced her to the work of Mexican muralists and encouraged her to go work in Mexico, which we'll see was a significant part of her artistic development and project for most of her life. Here we see an example of a print that she made about Thurgood Marshall in 2001. Marshall, of course, was a Supreme Court justice, but she knew him in the 1930s. So after she graduated Howard, she taught school in Durham, North Carolina. And while she was there, she realized that Black teachers were paid significantly less than white teachers. So with Marshall, she protested for equal pay for teachers. They were unsuccessful, but this commitment to equality and social justice is something that she continued to explore in her work and in her personal life. Margaret Walker was a poet, and within her family, this seemed to come natural. She was the firstborn, and it was kind of agreed upon that that would be her destination, to be a writer. Her parents were both teachers at the New Orleans University, and she went there for her first 2 years of college. Like Catlett, she started when she was 16. While she was there, she got to hear a number of prominent Black speakers come through. And one of those was Langston Hughes. So he did a poetry reading, and afterwards, she gave him some of her poems. And he encouraged her to continue writing. And he also told her parents, quote, get her out of the South. As a junior, Walker transferred to Northwestern. It's where her father went for his master's. He was a pastor in the Methodist Church as well as a literary scholar. And in Northwestern, she continued to write poems. She began working on Jubilee, which would become her major novel in the 1960s. It also developed into her dissertation project. She also got her PhD from the University of Iowa in the 60s. Walker was really engaged in the artistic community in Chicago. With Richard Wright, she co-founded the Southside Writers Group, and all of her work really looked at the Black experience, just like Elizabeth Catlett, really focusing on what does it mean to be Black in America. For My People was originally published in 1937. It was a poem in Poetry Magazine, and then when she was in her MFA program, she developed a whole collection of poems around it. It was published as a collection of poems in 1942, the same year that she got her MFA, and she won the Yale Series of Younger Poets Award for it. It was the first time that a Black person had won this award. As I said, Catlett's portfolio marks the 50th anniversary of the publication of the poetry collection, and you can hear Nikki Finney read the poem at the Poetry Society of America and also read the whole poem at the Poetry Foundation, and there'll be links that you can go to see those things. In the rest of the videos, I'll be talking about individual works from the portfolio. The portfolio consists of 6 prints. They're all lithographs. And we'll go into detail looking at some of Catlett's other works and some of the ideas that she was engaged with as she was making these. Thanks.